All right. Hello, everyone. I feel like I haven't done a live stream in forever, and it's because it has been a long time. In fact, I wasn't able to live stream Flight 11, and I just got back on Saturday night. And so I've just been wanting to talk to you guys and, maybe talk about my trip. If some of you guys have questions about that, I have some video that we can go over. I don't know if any of this is interesting to you, but I figured, hey, why not connect live and say how's it going. So yeah, I what a flight, by the way. It was a great flight. I did stay up to watch it. I didn't have good enough internet to stream it, but there will be more, although probably not for probably a few months. So figured that it would be fun to talk about the trip. Hi, Uncle Yukon. Thanks for checking in. Thank you, Hunk Marvin, evening from the UK, which I was just there. In case you guys didn't know, I went to Istanbul and then we went to Vienna, Austria, which was very beautiful. Then we went to London and then we took the train up to Edinburgh and then back down to London. And then here I am. So it feels like it's been a lot longer than it actually has been. I left October 3rd and I got back October 25th, but thought that you guys might want to just talk. So let's see. When do I think the next Starship flight will be? Well, of course, they're going to launch from a brand new launch pad and launch tower. So I think that's going to take still a little bit of time to get completely ready to go. It's a whole new generation of Starship. And so my best guess is not until the new year. Could even be as late as February. That's my prediction. But of course, I don't have a crystal ball. So, but I think it is going to be a bit of a wait. And so, for that reason, I guess we can talk about traveling for right now. um, and then let's see here. I don't know which format is better. But yeah, so it was a very fun trip. If anyone has any questions, let me know. Also, if the audio is too loud on this, let me know. So, this was a very interesting Lebanese Turkish breakfast that we had, which had like a ton of sides and it was like the craziest meal that I've ever seen. So, um, none of these videos are in order. I probably took more pictures than I did video, but it was really interesting to try like Turkish food. I wasn't super familiar with it. And I think a lot of people were surprised, like, why did you go to Turkey on your honeymoon? Maybe that's kind of random. And we had already been to Italy twice, Spain twice. We did Paris, we did Japan twice, South Korea. And so it was like, let's try something new, even though we've done a lot of the, highly romantic cliche places already. And I'm curious, where did you guys go on your honeymoon? I feel like it's most common to like go to a beach or something, but we decided to go to these places, and I think it was really fun. Although I'll admit I'm still quite exhausted. So if I'm not making total sense, that could be why. And there were a lot of protests, like in every single country, even in the smaller cities. Like we took a day trip to Linz, Austria, because we wanted to see what's called the Mauthausen Memorial, which was a former concentration camp. And that little town of Linz, there were also some protests for Palestine, but we were seeing those everywhere. The Most of the protests were, free Palestine, although there were some in London. Um, One of them was for, Brexit. They sang this song, "We all live in a Brexit tragedy." I mean, pretty catchy. Of course, Yellow Submarine's a great song. And then what was the other one for? Oh, it's for digital ID, which I have a video of that. Um, Let me see some of these comments here. So, have you heard any update on Jared Isaacman for head of NASA? I have not heard an update. It could happen, but I think even Jared's probably not holding his breath. So we shall see. But Let's see. Jillian says, I love watching the New Year Vienna concert as it shows lots of surrounding countryside and beautiful buildings. Yeah. One of the cool things we got to do in Vienna as well was go to a string concert inside of a church, which was very cool. But let's go in the order of this video. So here we are. This is Istanbul. This is, I believe, right outside of the Blue Mosque that we wanted to go inside. Oops, sorry, I messed up that video. We wanted to go inside of the Blue Mosque, but there are certain times of day when there is prayer and you can't go inside. And so, you had to wear a headscarf to go inside and respect, of course, the religion. So, and here's one of the protests. This was I think the biggest protest I have ever seen in person. I mean, the stream of traffic was just incredible. Like we had to wait like 30 minutes to cross, and it was pretty incredible. So yeah, I just thought it was interesting to see this. And like I said, this is happening everywhere. And I know that there were some protests, I think, while we were gone here in the United States, but I feel like I don't see a lot of protests. So it's interesting to see how much more common it is in other countries. If you guys agree with that, I don't know. Maybe that's just a random observation. I don't know how true that is. But yeah, so let's see what other videos I have. So here's more protests. It was just like really, I was still not fully adjusted to the time zone. And I think this was like our first full day there. So I was like, wow, this is kind of intense. This is very overstimulating. Okay. Not a lot of questions from you guys, so I'm just going to keep talking. But yeah, very beautiful view. How many of you guys have been to Istanbul, or what do you know about it? I didn't know much about it before we went. There's my husband. Yay. The Blakester, welcome back, Ellie. It is so good to see you live again. Just keep talking. I feel like I'm tap dancing. This is like awkward. I feel like I wasn't sure if anyone would care about doing a live stream, and this confirms that. So, but I don't know. I'm self-employed, man. Sometimes I get bored. I'm all alone. Oh my God. I'm all alone. And I'm my own boss. The girl boss. I did not fly too close to the sun, if you guys know the reference. But sometimes I just get bored. So I was like, well, if I'm bored, I should talk to you guys. So talk to me back, please, because this is getting a little bit awkward here. Did I see a lot of cats in Istanbul? I saw a ton of cats. I didn't know that before going there. I have a lot more pictures of them. I didn't take a lot of video. But yes, there are like at least well over 100,000 stray cats that are all like cared for by the community. In fact, we stayed at the JW Marriott, which was, a very nice hotel. And there was like one of the stray cats inside on one of the cozy chairs. And I was like, this is awesome. So cool. Let's see, just tuning in from Simon Fisher. Did you go on a protest holiday, or was this by accident? I mean, I don't know. There were protests everywhere. It happened to line up that our honeymoon would be right after the wedding, and that happened to be here in October. So it was just an interesting observation to see so many protests like everywhere we went. So anyway, what was my favorite meal? Oh my gosh, that is a good question because we had a lot of really good food. There was a Thai place in London called Rosa's that we went to 3 times in less than a week, which is like the waiter was like, "Weren't you here last night?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's amazing." So that was really actually incredible. Rosa's in London. There's more than one location. It was great. That Lebanese breakfast that I showed you guys earlier in this video, where they brought out like 30 like little dishes and dips and breads and all sorts of stuff, was very exciting. It was a very cool, unique meal. I've never had anything like that. So that has to be up there. I mean, we had a lot of really amazing food. We had fish and chips in London, I think 3 times. And I also noticed that, like in London and Vienna in particular, there were a lot of plant-based meat options, which for me I liked because I'm kind of picky about meat. And so yeah, so those were some of my favorite meals. I mean, I don't really think that we had any bad food. Let me think about that. Did we have anything that I was repulsed by? Um, well, I did accidentally eat a piece of lamb during that one of the Turkish dinners, and I don't like lamb, so I was like, "Oh, that sucks." But that's okay. I didn't know what it was. I ate it. I got past it, but that was it. Okay, so you guys want to see more food pictures. That's going to be harder to pull up, but I can try to do that. But I do have some more video. Ohio Pat, yeah, you make a good point. How about touching base with Jonathan McDowell? It's been a while. I think last time I reached out to him, he was kind of like burned out from interviews. And so I can try that again. But I interviewed Angry Astronaut yesterday, so that was fun. And so I'll be putting out that video soon. Am I a fan of Turkish coffee? Unfortunately, not. I really like to have cream in the coffee, and that is not a thing there. In fact, I asked for like milk or cream, and they basically just said no. It was actually funny too because a couple of the restaurants that we went to, like my husband really loves naan, and so he wanted to get 2 orders of garlic naan and for himself, and the waiter was like, "No." Just refused. He was like, "That's too much food. No." And it was like, "Excuse me, Mr. Portion Control Police." It was kind of funny. Something similar happened when we were in Japan, and I went into one of the stores because they had these really cute dresses, little kind of like party dresses. And all the sizes there are very small. Most things are way too small. Sometimes you'll get lucky and find something that'll fit an American body. And so I walked in and I was like, "Oh, can I try this on?" And she was like, "No, like it's not going to fit. Like, no." And I was like, "Oh my God, like, you could have at least let me try." It was very embarrassing. Scott Carr, shout out to Scott Carr, who makes the amazing designs for our merchandise. Thank you for checking in. Congrats on a great wedding and honeymoon. Did you get some photos for us? I have loads of photos from the wedding, loads of photos from the honeymoon. I'll keep playing this video. But yeah, I just feel like I've been so out of the loop. I've tried to make some content. I did make some videos on the honeymoon, which some people would say, "What are you doing, girl?" But of course, now we're back home and it's back to business. So this was a fun thing that I did. Okay, so what's going on with all the seagulls here? So there was actually a lot of these little shops in Istanbul where you could take a flying dress photo shoot. Well, me loving the camera, loving photo shoots, and loving to dress up, I was like, okay, I want to do that. So we went on this roof and I got to pick out a dress, and then we did various like scenes, and the photographer was like instructing me how to pose, and then for some of the shots they wanted the birds to fly around. Well, how do you get the birds to fly around? They're like throwing fish. So there were so many birds swarming around me. None of them hit me, and it was very interesting, but it was kind of a cool little business. Not only did they have this where I'm kind of like holding these fake flowers and overlooking the view of Istanbul, but they had this thing. Oh, well, we'll get to that in a second. Here's where they're making this flying dress look magical, of course, with human intervention. And but then they put me on a swing, and here we go. And I was like, is this going to be a Jet2 holiday moment where something goes wrong? I was very scared to go on this thing. I mean, they were using like a handheld little remote to crank it up, and I was like, this is too Ocean Gate for me. But of course it was safe. It was fine. And I have like, I don't know, 400 photos from this thing anyway, but this will play in the background. You can see the swing. I was so freaked out, and I'm not like afraid of heights. I was just like, what if something goes wrong? But Simon says, did you like the fish and chips in London more than the Thai food? Hell no, dude. I mean, it was good, but that Thai food, it's the best. It wins. Fish and chips was good. I didn't like that the skin was on it. Sorry. I know, controversial. Jillian says, on my trip to Paris, I did not enjoy eating horse meat. I could not do that. I used to have horses that would be so unbelievably sad. I mean, good for you for being adventurous. Sometimes I wish I wasn't so picky, but well, I've gotten better. I've been eating a little bit more meat. I used to be vegetarian for many years, if you guys didn't know that about me. So some might say it's progress, depending on where you stand on that. Here I am on the swing, still like, is this going to fall at any minute? Pibby6, I don't know if I'm saying that right, says, this is the first of your live streams I have seen live. Congratulations. They're pretty rare. So I'm glad that you can join us. You are on holiday in Zakynthos, Greece. Probably butchered that. We fly back to the UK tomorrow. That's awesome. We thought about going to Greece, but yeah, I mean, we'll probably get there eventually. I don't really know why we didn't go. I think why did we not choose Greece? That was our initial plan, but for some reason we didn't go. So let me know if we missed out big time and if we should have gone to Greece. My skin looks different. Hopefully better than worse. I only have on eye makeup right now, and I did just get a haircut today, which I was like, gotta show it off. I cut off like probably 3 inches. So yay, surprise. But let's see. You like my laugh about the Ocean Gate. Yeah, that handheld remote was, I mean, you can see, and that's the thing too, is like he's pulling on the back of the skirt so hard and then flinging it. And I was like, is this thing gonna drop? So here's the Blue Mosque. This was really cool to see the inside of. Of course, once again, wearing my Ellie in space shirt with the headscarf because you have to. If you don't own one, you have to buy one or rent one there. This was, I think, when we landed in Vienna. It was very nice. We had big planes the whole time. And I love me some big plane because the big planes just feel more secure to me, except for when we came home. We flew through Montreal on the way home from London. And I think I'd already been flying for like 11 hours or so total at that point. And then our last, 30 or 40 minutes was very scary getting into Austin. If the flight is not turbulent, I'm a totally fine flyer. But if it starts to get bumpy and then more bumpy, and here's one thing that didn't sit right with me, and I still can't figure this out. And like it freaked me out. So we were on this plane and it was getting really turbulent and it was like sustained. I can handle a few bumps, but if it's not going away and it just seems to be getting worse, I'm like, oh my God, what does this mean? And it looked crazy outside. And then like 15 minutes before landing, they come on and they're telling us about where the emergency exits are. And they're like, don't worry, it'll be illuminated, in case we need to use the emergency exits. Here they are. And I'm like, I have never heard anyone on any flight give us emergency exit information with in the last 15 minutes before landing. WTF. So that didn't feel very good. I was like, oh my God, I am too tired, and just it was rough. So I don't know why they did that. If there's someone who might know, let me know. I've never heard it happen. And at that point, my husband and I were sitting like far away from each other because it was a pretty empty flight. And so I admittedly moved because someone like people were playing musical chairs with the seats because it was an empty flight. Someone moved in front of me that stank. Okay. I'm not going to sit for 4 hours plus behind someone who smells bad if half the plane is empty. Sorry. So I like moved to my own aisle, which was sick. I got the window seat. So I got to look out, which I always want the window open because I want to see what's going on. But I also got the aisle so I could go to the bathroom, and then I got the middle so I could stretch my legs out. It was amazing. Up until that point, it was a really great flight. And then that turbulence and that weird emergency exit thing started happening. But yeah, he was like, "Oh, well, I was gaming, so I didn't hear them say that about the emergency exit info." He's like, "That would have probably freaked me out too." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like the only one like crying right now, but that's probably some trauma that needs to be addressed. Uncle Yukon says Greece was fun. I've been there. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get there eventually. So Jesus says, which was your favorite city to visit and why? That's such a hard question because I liked all four of the cities that we went to, and I think that I like them for different reasons. I what was my favorite to visit? Hmm. God, that's hard. Because Vienna was really nice too. I almost want to say Istanbul just because it was so different. Like when I was in London, I really felt like I was in the United States still in some ways. It was very weird. Not much culture shock. I was like, this could be like a New York slash Boston thing. So it was very weird. I just didn't feel that far away from home. But I mean, it was great. It's a lovely city, and a lot of people were saying like, "Be prepared. It's really dangerous." I don't know where that danger was. I felt very safe there. But I was asked this earlier by the woman who cut my hair, where's my favorite city? And I was like, well, to be honest, like Japan and South Korea are still the best places I've ever been to. So I'm just being honest. It is so worth taking that trip if you haven't, in my opinion. And I think that it's pretty affordable as well. Henry says Istanbul is in my list ever since I've seen that one episode of The Saint with Simon Templar. I don't know what episode that is, but yeah, I think it was worth going. I mean, it was very cool, very different, very unique. It's a very historically significant place as well. And so, yeah, I'm glad that we wait, what? Why is someone saying eating meat may make your skin better? Also, what's wrong with my skin? I thought it looked okay. What's wrong with it? And I eat plenty of fruits and vegetables, so I don't like that one. Okay. So Uncle Yukon says bumpy weather happens, emergency exits need to be known just in case. I guess. I mean, but they tell us that at the beginning of the flight, and I've just never heard him say it at the end. So, let's see. Bill wants to know, transportation. Did y'all get to drive around and get honked at like new drivers? Or was it all scooters, bikes, taxis, or lots of walking? Are there self-driving cars over there? Definitely saw some Teslas. I mean, not a lot compared to what you see here. I don't think any of them were self-driving. I don't know for sure, but there weren't even, I mean, there were really not that many that we saw, at least Teslas. I think we did see one BYD. Is that what it is? I've never seen one of those in person. That was kind of cool. It was actually a nice looking car. But we mostly walked for sure. We didn't do any biking. We took a taxi to and from Istanbul from the airport just because that's kind of like the easiest way to get over there. However, Vienna had a great high speed rail. It was called CAT, and it was like 15 minutes from the airport to like the city center. So that was pretty awesome. And in London, of course, we took what is it? Is it called the tube? The subway, which was, kind of long and boring, but it was fine. I tend to get less car sick with that, so I was actually thankful for that. And then we did end up renting a car, which I wasn't planning to do, and it was an interesting experience renting a car in a foreign country. I don't think I've ever done that ever. And it was pretty easy, actually. It was really easy. And luckily wasn't manual because I was not going to be able to pull that off. But we rented a car because we wanted to go to that Mauthausen Memorial, and we could have gone in like a shuttle on one of those tours, but it would have probably made me car sick, and looking at the route, it looked kind of windy. So I was like, let's just rent a car for the day and let Ellie drive, which is exactly what we did. So good husband points for letting me have my cake and eat it too. And it was honestly really cool to just kind of like drive on the roads and listen to the different radio stations. And like, it sounds so mundane, but it really gives you a feel for like, I think it's so important when you go to these big cities to get out of the city for a little bit to see what, it's like really like to live there. So I'm so glad that we did that. I wasn't planning to rent a car, but I think that it was awesome. Was our flight on the way home as bad as my 0G flight in the vomit comment? Of course not. No, it was not. But it was like, it was a really big plane and we were getting rocked around. And so no, it wasn't. We weren't doing full on parabolas, but it was enough for me to start to break down, which I've gotten a lot better at that, at my flight anxiety. So it was not a little bit of a regression, but that's okay. That's okay. Oh my God, Jim. Jim says, I was once on a plane that was at risk of a water landing as it was running out of fuel. They told us about flotation devices. Are you for real? Wow, I would have flipped out. Mullet Shizzle says, whoa, she's live chatting to us. You bet your bottom dollar I am. So yeah. Jillian says, you must visit Italy, Ellie. Venice is beautiful, and the Lake Como area. You can actually take a 2-hour hydrofoil trip from the Dalmatian coast to Croatia to Venice in 2 hours. We did go to Venice, and we loved it, which is interesting because a lot of people have said that they don't like Venice that much, at least people that we've talked to about it. And we thought it was very romantic, very cool. Let's see. Simon says, London. Simon says, did you get that? I didn't even mean to do that. I bet you get that all the time. Simon says, London is a very safe city, only crime in some outer suburbs. Did Istanbul feel safe? Istanbul felt safe after a few days. I think that, okay, this is going to sound stupid too. Listen, folks, I have anxiety, okay? Breaking my femur made me a little bit hypervigilant about the world around me, okay? When we were in Japan, there was a little baby earthquake and I freaked out and I had a full-blown panic attack. So I acknowledge that sometimes I get a little bit in my head about certain things. However, the night before we left for Turkey, I was looking into Turkey because I wanted to learn more about it. And it was like, there's a lot of earthquakes in Turkey. And I was like, what? So that kind of freaked me out. So as far as did it feel safe, the first few days I was like, oh my God, is there going to be a horrible earthquake while we're here? That would be so scary. I know I shouldn't be thinking about it, but I was. And then I was also kind of caught off guard by just like the protest because it was so large and it was so like loud and I've never been in a place where they have like, mosques everywhere and call to prayer. It was just different. So I think like as far I did feel safe, especially after like I got adjusted to it. I would say by like 2 or 3 days in, I felt completely safe, but I don't know. Sometimes international traveling can be a little bit scary. So, it felt incredibly safe, but I was just a little bit in my head about like the potential for an earthquake, which sounds so stupid, but I can't help but be honest. I'm like an open book. So you ask for it and you get it. Okay. Jesus says, I've been to London and I loved it, which, by the way, we were fortunate to see 3 Broadway plays as well, which was totally worth it. Very grateful that we were able to do that. Amazing talent, amazing voices. And yes, Istanbul, worth visiting. Paul Taylor, good morning from Australia. I would love to go there. I mean, it's far away. It's really far away. However, I'm sure I'll get there someday. Did I drive on the left side of the road? No. We were looking at how crazy it looked to drive in London, and I was like, dude, there's no way that this would feel. I mean, I feel like, where was it? Oh yeah, we thought about maybe, because they do a lot of these day trips. Or no, it was in Scotland actually. In Scotland, they offer a lot of day trips up to the Highlands, which is like 8 hours of driving round trip, which I was like, I don't really want to rush that experience and basically be on a bus all day. And like, I read some reviews about it. It's like, yes, the Highlands is beautiful and it's worth seeing, but is it worth seeing on this short of a time frame? And I don't like sitting forever. I get restless. So anyway, we didn't do that. But I thought about, well, what if we just rented a car in, Edinburgh and drive up there? No. That I was like, this is going to be resulting in like a car crash or something. There's too soon to try and do that in one day. So we did not have that experience, although I feel like it'd be actually kind of scary to drive. Everything seems so backwards seeing on the other side of the road, but oh well. How were the cats in Istanbul? Most of them were very sweet. Some of them, like, I was a little nervous to pet them at first just because, I don't know, they're stray cats. And then like the one that I saw in our JW Marriott hotel, I was just like, all right, I'm going to love on you and scratch you because I miss my cats. And so it was really cool. I really loved that aspect and I wasn't expecting that. And I think that's one of the things that I like is a lot of these vacations that are, places that we go to, I don't actually overly research it. Sometimes I go in pretty blind, and I know a lot of people like to plan stuff and have everything squared away. I think that there is such a thing as over planning, and like you want some of this stuff to be organic, in the moment, spontaneous, and learning and just finding things out about a place that you didn't see 10 reasons why you need to go here on TikTok. I think there's something magical about learning something when you're actually there for yourself. So that's the way that we like to travel. It's not for everyone, but that's how we do it. Do I know what they were protesting? Yeah, most of the protests were Free Palestine protests, but some of them, like I said, there was one for the digital ID, which I posted that video on X, and then I had a couple people message me saying like, hey, can we share this for this news clip? And I was like, sure, I don't care. So apparently it's a big deal. And let's see. Chris says, I have stationed in the UK for 4 years, lived off base. My wife and I vacationed and drove all around visiting all the haunted mansions. Drove on the left and had a left-hand drive car. It's great. Yeah, when I was with, when I went to the X takeover in the San Francisco area, this was back in, was it August or July? I think it was July. Scott Manley, I met up with him to interview him and go on a hike, and he drove us in his car. And I was thinking about that on the trip. I was like, I wonder how hard it was for him to learn, to drive on the other side of the road. So maybe on a future trip, I will have to try it, but we did not do that. Luckily, the cars in Vienna were all normal. Bimmer Geezer, thank you for hopping on. He says, and for the super chat, if you want exotic places, try Exira, Iowa. What the hell is that? Let me look that up just to see if there's anything special about that. Exira, it's funny to me that Tim Dodd is from Iowa. Yeah, don't know anything about, sounds very, let's see, there's a population of 766. Don't know if I'll ever make it there, but maybe. But thank you for joining, and I should play a little bit more of this video. So here's a view of Vienna, and this was just a very beautiful place. Here was a little Schmetterling or butterfly house. And, I didn't know much about Vienna, but it really is gorgeous. I feel like, if you're looking for like a romantic kind of classical, I don't know, sophisticated vibe, but you don't want to go to Paris because it's overcrowded and filled with stupid scammers, Vienna is a good choice. So in this video, I just thought it was really an interesting juxtaposition here. So this is, I believe it was called the Stairs of Death at the Mauthausen Memorial. But when you go down here, you enter this huge, open, quite beautiful quarry or, gorge area. So that was just very, very interesting experience. Very sad, but also I'm glad that we got to see that in person. And so, it was an odd juxtaposition to see such a beautiful spot of nature next to something so incredibly horrific. And here is of course, Big Ben. Don't gotta say that twice. Apparently, there was some scaffolding on it a while ago, and so we got lucky because it was completely clear and open. However, here's Buckingham Palace. We were able to see a motorcade come in, and apparently the head of Fiji was there to sign something, so that was pretty exciting. And but here's just some video of the guards. We didn't actually see an official change of the guards, and here's one of those protests for the digital ID thing that I was talking about. So hey, everywhere has its issues, and it's various things that people don't like about living there. So I really love traveling. I feel like it's interesting to see, it's like some places are so different, yet we're all really not that different. We all like to eat, we all like a beautiful view. I don't know why it's doing this. We all need a place to sleep. It's just, I don't know, it's interesting to see how different things are, but not really that different. We all want to be loved, like all this stuff. Anyway, I digress. S. Fisher says, "Oh yes, I'm watching and listening. Please keep on talking." I'm glad that it's very awkward because it's like I'm talking to you guys, but I can't hear anyone. I'm just sort of like reading comments and rambling. So I'm thank you for watching, trying to make jokes over here. Jim says, "What airlines did you like or not like for international travel?" Let's see. We did Austrian Air for the first time. That was really chill. I really like these planes that have like the POV of taking off and flying over, the area, and you can see that from, an aerial view. That's really cool. And then, so Austrian Air was great. Turkish Air was pretty good, except for the fact that we barely made our connection from Houston. So the bags did not get to Turkey on time, which wasn't Turkish Airlines' fault, but then getting the bags took like 16 hours, and they were like at the airport for a long time, but they were loaded on like the cargo company that distributes them. So even if we drove back to the airport, we couldn't get the bags. And so I complained about that a little bit because at that point we had already bought new clothes and it was this whole thing. So that was a little bit frustrating. They couldn't like give us a time when our bags would actually arrive. And at that point it was like, okay, we're starting to like stink here and it's getting gross. So anyway, but other than that, the flight was good. Air Canada, they were good, minus of course the weather, which was not their fault. So I think they were great because they got us through it. And then what was the other? Did we fly anything else? No, I think it was just that. So yeah, all really good airline experiences. But We also chose to fly Austrian because while there are cheaper carriers, just like here in the United States, some of them don't sound that appealing. So we spent a little bit more, not first class, but just spent to go on a little bit more, reliable, comfortable airline. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Oh, that's where your wife grew up in Exira, Iowa. Wow, that is a small town. And thank you for another super chat. How about the weather in the UK? It was pleasantly chilly. I mean, it wasn't too cold. It was probably like mid 50s, so it was pretty great. Got to wear a jacket, and then I came back to Texas and I ripped that thing off. And we actually have a cold front here today, but considering it's almost November, let's see what the weather is right now in Austin. I mean, it's still, this summer hasn't been that bad, but I think yesterday it was like 85. Today it's 67. So that's actually kind of perfect weather. So it's pretty good in Austin right now, but still warm compared to obviously other parts of the country. Yeah, Michael Maxey, remember that Austria is the location for the story The Sound of Music. Sadly, I have not watched The Sound of Music, which is a little concerning. So I have not seen that yet. Let's see. Let me just finish this video. So yeah, like I mentioned, this was the protest for the digital ID. Just, I don't know why I was taking video of the protests. Just interesting. It's just humans doing interesting things and me being a human by taking videos. By the way, there needs to be a rule in some of these museums for people that are like not looking where they're going, taking videos, taking selfies, taking their phone out and taking pictures of things when there's clearly a sign that says you're not allowed to take photos of this. It was maddening. It was very dumb. Very dumb. And just frustrating because it's like, are you ever really going to look at these photos again? Like, really? Probably not. Plus, there's a way better version of every single thing in here online, and you're also not supposed to take photos of it. So anyway, here were the viral strawberries from the Borough Market. I saw that these existed on TikTok. We decided to go there, and they were quite amazing. However, I bought like 2 things from this Borough Market, which is kind of like a farmer's market. And I left my bag in the bathroom at the Tower of London. And I think I noticed about 20 minutes later. And so I went back to that stall and someone had stolen it. And I was so upset. And I like asked if anyone had turned a bag in, filled with just unopened goods from the little store. Of course, they're not going to turn it in. They want that pistachio rose butter and the hot sauce that I got from my dad as a Christmas gift. So I was bummed about that. I know it's stupid, but I was bummed about it. I was like, I would have turned it in. I wouldn't have stolen it. And here's a Highland cow. So we decided to do the next best thing because I did not want to spend, we were only in Scotland for like 3 days. And so I was like, I don't want to spend the whole day driving. I don't want to rush the Highlands thing. So let's get an Uber to this Swanston farm, and they had cows and chickens and goats and sheep. It was actually really fun. And then we walked home. We didn't know it was like sort of close enough to walk home. It was like an hour and 45-minute walk home. And it was so fun to like walk through these little narrow sort of fields and back alleys. And I don't know. It was just really fun to like go off the beaten path, so to speak. And so those are like some of the things that I love the most about travel. Because at that point we had done so many of the touristy things, such as, museums, and you have to see these churches, and you have to get tickets for this and reservations for this. And so it was really nice just to like walk along a waterfront. And I mean, I love nature and stuff. So it was just, I really like some of that simple free activity. But I think that that's most of the video. I actually have a lot more photos, but I don't know if this is super boring. So yes, Marshall says, great to see you had a great European honeymoon. Love hearing all about it. Makes you appreciate the US. It does. And while I loved traveling, I have to say we have traveled a lot since we started dating. Like I feel like I've traveled so much in the past 2.5 years. And so like for the first time, I actually felt a little bit homesick to be back in Austin, which is odd because I've sort of had trouble feeling like this place was home, even though I've lived here now for, I don't know, since February of 23. It hasn't really felt like home. And so it was kind of nice in a way to want to come home because usually I'm like, no, I want to be somewhere else. I miss having mountains or I don't like this thing. And it was like, oh, I'm actually like really grateful for home. I know that sounds silly, um but yeah, I'm happy to be back and I'm very fortunate that we were able to have such a grand adventure, but I'm also like ready to get back to work. So I've started, obviously doing more videos. I'm working on a video right now, actually. And so hopefully we can ramp up the content for you guys because I do feel bad taking a break. But if there was one time to, and I didn't even take a full break to be clear, but if there's one time that it makes sense, it is on your honeymoon. And let's see. Mark says, welcome home, Ellie. Sounds like the trip was stellar. Are you excited to witness Pad 2 and V3 Starship flights next year? Of course I am. As I was mentioning earlier, I just don't know how soon that's going to be. We're almost in November, which is insane, first of all. But, I think it could be a couple months. So, yes, I'm very excited. Hopefully, they're able to do it sooner. But, and one thing, like Elon was saying, that they expect to make the first ship catch on flight 13. Well, hopefully, but again, they're introducing a brand new generation of Starship. So the idea that everything will go perfectly on flight 12, allowing that for flight 13, we'll see. We saw how much teething pains we had with V2, but they've learned a lot. So I'm very excited to see it unfold. And I think that, hopefully it's a great 2026. Okay, so hello, Ellie. How are you? I am Gouda. I'm good. I'm actually a little tired, to be honest, but I am pretty good. I'm doing a rock climbing competition this weekend, which is funny because I felt so out of shape after the 3-week vacation. I think I worked out in a gym 3 times through the entire trip, which I mean, it's okay. It's better than nothing. But so we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. And let's see. Favorite pastries. Okay, so when we were this isn't necessarily a pastry, but when we were in Scotland, I don't even know what they're called. I mean, they're like these tea cakes, but what they really are is like a wrapped s'more. So it's like a little piece of like chocolate with marshmallow on the inside, and it's basically like a little s'more. Those were amazing. Those were really good. We tried that like iron brew soda thing that's kind of tastes like bubble gum. My husband kept saying how good it was. I was like, no, it's not. I'm not drinking it. It was not good. I didn't think it was that good. And it wasn't worth the calories. What else did I like that was sweet? We tried that, what is it called? Kaiser Schmarrn in Austria. And there was a big long line for that. It was kind of like almost like a pancake slash bread pudding with some, I think, plums or something on top. It was pretty good. I mean, it was certainly like more nutritional than most of the desserts here. And it wasn't as gluttonous, but it was pretty good. Would I crave it? Probably not. I'm trying to think, like, I feel like there were definitely some foods that, like, I had sort of tried for the first time or didn't have much experience trying, such as, like, Turkish food, and I really enjoyed, like I feel like in Turkey, I actually got in a lot of fruits and veggies, which was really great, and, yeah, Vienna had some really amazing restaurants. Again, back to that Rose's Thai in London. If you live in London, please go and let me know and tell them. Actually, they don't know who I am, but you can thank me later. That's what I think. Um, okay, so this is a little bit of a later comment, but Jim, in response to why did they bring up where the emergency exits were 15 minutes before landing? Likely the crew knew there was a risk and so was giving you the emergency exit info without telling you that something was off with the plane. They didn't want a panic. Bro, that definitely caused me to panic hearing that. So I don't know if that helped anything. It's wow. It's crazy to just see how safe flying is because even when this flight wasn't optimal for me, it did not feel so good. Um, we're safe. And so I feel like it's flying is just I mean it's truly incredible how safe it is. Let's see. Holy crap, your ring is beautiful. How many carats? Thank you so much. My ring is 3 carats and I love it. Sorry, my fingers look terrible, but yes, I think you did a great job and thank you for noticing. It is pretty cool to be married. Um, I also want to share more like photos and videos from the wedding at some point because there's some really cool ones. Um, okay. So, Marshall, thank you. He says, you look great. Got to credit the haircut. Was just in London and Paris with my lady. Lived in Salzburg for a year when I was 14. Yeah, we didn't go there, but we were thinking about maybe taking a day trip. Great to have you back. You and your husband have a wonderful future. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I feel like life has been a dream and a simulation in the best way possible. So I agree. And yeah, I mean, when times are good, you got to soak them in and enjoy it. Let's see. Okay. No, we did not visit Paris and the Louvre while it was robbed in broad daylight. No, we did not. However, I heard about that. Actually, when we went to Paris, that was last year, and my husband went to the Louvre by himself because I was live streaming Flight 5 with the first booster catch. So I was like, I can't, I have to do this. This is important. And so I actually didn't get to see the Louvre. I went to the Louvre when I was, I think, like 9, which translates to I sort of went. I don't think I appreciated it as much. But yeah, I'm still pretty shocked that they were able to pull that off. And apparently they were caught. So let's see. Yeah, so I mean, wow, some of you guys are listening. That is really sweet. Um, Barney, hiya, Ellie. Great to see you back on my TV live. Yes, I am live. F it, we'll do it live. Remember, you guys have seen that viral clip. What do you think about your stay in the UK? I overall really liked it. Oh, I will say too, we did get sick like halfway through the trip, and that kind of sucked. I feel like getting sick on a trip really brings the spirit down, but it is that time of year. So it was just like a cold, but it was like a bummer because it kind of took the energy out of me for a few days. But yeah, it was really great. I mean, there are certain things here that I wouldn't trade, such as like having really good AC, because like we seem to run hot and we keep our house at like, I think it's really cold. What do we keep it at? I feel like we keep it at like 68 degrees. Um, Yeah, so AC is a big one. Also, like, not to sound like rude, but like some of the restaurants were just really like slow to even come over to the table. Like we'd sit down and it would be like 20 minutes and like no one would come over to us. And it's like, bro, I am hungry and I'm about to be hangry. So, y'all, what is going on? I think we probably walked out of 3 places, just a total in the trip because it was like no one cared. So that was kind of weird. And then like getting the check was also very hard sometimes. It was like, but maybe it's a good lesson to just slow down, be in the moment, and enjoy your company. But sometimes we had a play to see, so we had to leave. uh, and then, yeah, I like having ice in the drinks. I like having a larger, glass. I mean, whether it's water or Diet Coke or whatever. Um, there was no Diet Coke until we got to London and Scotland. So I was like, I don't like Coke Zero. These are such stupid things, but you guys asked. So yeah. And then, but I mean, obviously, like the idea of not having to have a car, in some of these places, it would definitely be easier to do there. However, I did miss my car. I will say it was actually like fun to just drive again when I got home. So, yes, I liked it, but there are certain creature comforts that I'm very glad that I have here. If I'm being honest with you, I just had to be honest. Um, okay. Ellie, I can't thank you. A nice comment. I'll take the nice ones. Ellie, I can't be sure, but you said you have been eating meat and said your skin looks great. Your skin looks flawless with your makeup, as is my only opinion, but I hope that's what he meant. I'm like not wearing any face makeup. I'm wearing eye makeup. But I'm not wearing any foundation. I thought about putting it on, but I like my freckles. I don't like those wrinkles though. Oh my God. Those are terrible. So I had like straight bangs and I recently grew them out. And part of the reason that I had those bangs, which I am curious, because you guys, I don't know if you remember, I had like just like the straight bangs. I grew them out, but now you can see all those wrinkles on my forehead. Oh God, I've lived an expression-filled life. Oh, what a crime. But I don't want to get Botox because I've experimented with that a little bit like several years ago when I was in TV news. And it kind of made me look like I had resting bitch face because it freezes your forehead and then it kind of lowers your eyebrows. And so yeah. Anyway, so yes, I do not like wearing face makeup, although I do like wearing eye makeup, as you can see. But someone will complain about everything. So ultimately, I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do. Oh, good. Jim says, okay. I meant to say your skin has a nice glow and looks great now. Okay, thank you. I wasn't sure if you were saying it looks bad because I was like, honestly, I think it looks pretty good for 33 years old. It's not that bad. Yes, and my kitties are not distracting me because I have them locked out for that very reason. They would be very annoying. Although if you request politely, I will open the door and you can say hi to the kitties. So if anyone gives a darn, do it, request it, and I may comply. Did I do traditional fish and chips here in the UK? I had 3 fish and chips meals, and they were pretty great. Those mushy peas, I don't know what's going on there. They're just kind of boring. They're not horrible. They're just a little boring. But I was like putting the tartar sauce on, putting the lemon juice on, putting the vinegar on, putting the mayonnaise on. Just it was pretty disgusting actually looking, but it was pretty good. How do I feel about leaving TV news? to be honest, I'm still surprised I was able to pull it off all these years later. I quit my job in TV news in June of 2022. June of 2022. So here we are, and I'm still full-time Ellie in space. I don't know how that worked out. So how do I feel? Overall, good. I mean, overall, it's great. I have full flexibility with my time. You know, being self-employed is cool. It's pretty lonely, not gonna lie. It is hard to be your own boss sometimes, because sometimes it's hard to, you know, uh, discipline yourself. And I do miss having coworkers. I miss making jokes during every single commercial break. And yeah, that's all I'll say. And I miss like reading from a teleprompter and being the main anchor. I'm just keeping it real with you guys. I have dreams very often about the station that I was the main anchor at, and that for some reason I've returned back to that job, but something goes wrong, such as I miss the newscast because I'm doing my makeup or something, which never happened in real life. So I do often, I mean, that time left a pretty significant imprint on my life. I do miss news, but I'm pretty impressed with what I've been able to build on Ellie in Space. There's a lot of days where I think that my channel should be bigger. I should have more views, but you know, I am still a one-person show, and so could I try harder? Yes. And I am, but like I feel like I'm in a really good spot. But I think also, like, to someone on the outside, they probably look at my channel and say, yeah, it's like a decently sized YouTube channel. So I feel like I thought that when I hit 100K, oh, you can't even see the plaque. When I hit 100K, that would be like, oh my God, I'd feel amazing and I'd feel so good. And it's like, yeah, I felt good for like a second, and then it like, probably more than a second, but it's like the bar, you have to like slow down and enjoy the journey. Cause like, I mean, I've interviewed Elon Musk and like, that was amazing. I had that goal for so many years and then I did it. And now I'm like, well, I want another interview. You know, it's like, you have to like, just enjoy it, be proud of it. And enough is enough sometimes. So, let's see what the comments say. By the way, the Phantom of the Opera song is so good. It has been in my head. It is just, it's like perfect for Halloween too, because of that organ. It's like so spooky and just like, ah, da, 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 da. It's so good. Oh my gosh. It wasn't my favorite of the 3 plays that we saw. We saw Wicked and Les Miserables and Phantom of the Opera. I don't think the story was my favorite. Like, it was good. I mean, Les Miserables is like something else. Holy shit. Like the music and the story. And then Wicked, I love Wicked. So, but yeah, that Phantom of the Opera song is a banger. It has still been in my head. In fact, it's in my head right now. Okay, let's see what these people are saying. Oh, I'm going back to the comments when I was showing you my lovely wrinkles. Get out of there. Yeah, don't use Botox. Yeah, I just don't want to. I mean, I don't like fake nails. I don't like the Botox. I think too many women today are way overdoing it. They're overdoing the Botox to where like their forehead is so shiny and they don't have like any expression. And I'm an expressive person. And I also think way too many people are overdoing the lips, the lip filler. I will never do that. No, thank you. But that's just me. Maybe some people like it. Although I don't think any men really like it. I really don't. I think the women do it for the women. What can I say? Yeah, don't go fake. Don't worry. I will not. I will not. Yep. Natural is the way to go. Could you please say hi to the kitties? Woo! Oh, yeah. We want kitties. How much did the cats miss you? Dude, a lot. And one of them in particular won't stop meowing every morning, which he doesn't normally do. So let's get him. You guys ready for this? They're not even at the door. All right, they'll come in eventually. They're lit. They're always sitting at the door. And right now, they're not even at the door. Pinocchio! Ollie! Come on, boys! People actually care about you. Okay, well, I'll let you know if they come in. I don't see them. Oh, the big boy! The big boy! You got in trouble this morning, didn't you? You got in big trouble. Oh, yes, we were so mad at you this morning because you were singing before the sun was up, and it was really, really unwanted. This is Pinocchio. He's very large. He's very cuddly and clingy. He has a big, soft belly, and he has little rabbit feet. And he's just a very submissive little boy. I'm so mean. I'm so funny. Oh my God. Okay. Thank you for saying that, William. You should have more views. I agree. I agree. But that's okay. I'm thankful for the views that I have. And I still think having over 200K on YouTube is pretty cool. So part of it is I need to put out more content. I need to be more consistent. I need to be more dedicated. And I need to do more. So, yeah. Let's give Ellie a big thumbs up to help the algorithm. You do great in collabs, especially with Joe Tegmeyer. Thank you so much. Yes, I appreciate his help and his commentary. Hey. No, I want to show you. I want you to show them your stomach. Okay. So I think it's funny that most people think that he's a girl kitty. Most people think you're a little girl. That's embarrassing. That's so embarrassing. I don't know where the other one is. Maybe he'll come in. He might get jealous. Oh, little kitty. Not so little. I think he weighs 21 pounds. Not very good, mother. Not a very good cat mom. God, I'm... Oh, and he's shedding too. Okay. Thank you, J Cam Doctor. Congratulations on the wedding and trip. You excel at interviewing people working in the space industry. I wish you all the happiness in the world. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I need to do more interviews. I've interviewed some incredible people, but I need to keep interviewing incredible people and reaching out to people. So I commit. Is there anyone that you guys would like me to follow up with? I've likely interviewed them before and or have reached out to them. But is there anyone, someone mentioned Jonathan McDowell, please leave a comment and let me know who you want me to interview either for the first time or again. And I will try to make it happen because some of the stuff I just need to put myself out there. I need to do the whole networking thing, do the cold calling thing. Hey, can I interview you again, even though I interviewed you already? Truly. Okay. Wow, there's like so many comments. I'm so behind. That is a Garfield. Beware of it. You guys want to see the other one? Ollie, Ollie, Ollie. And then this one's the brother. And this one's my OG boy. And he's so sweet. His name is Oliver. And he's so chill. And he's honestly such a perfect kitty. Yes, you are. And you don't even meow. And you're not annoying. And you're really good. Although he's a little bit more on his own terms. Like he'll probably get annoyed here in a little bit and then try to leave. So, but he's just a sweet little kitty from South Dakota. I adopted him when I lived in South Dakota during my first reporting job. And now he's probably almost, are you 10 or 11? I don't know. Probably around there. Apparently he was returned to the animal shelter where I adopted him from. I think he was only like 6 months old, and he was returned because he was too much of a social butterfly. He's a kitten. Like, and what a weird, like, what a stupid complaint. So, but he's a sweet boy, and he has little boogies on his eyes. Sorry, I know that's not a great look. Okay. They're good boys, though. They are good boys. Okay. So it's funny you bring this up. Here, come on, come back up. Come on, jump up. Show everyone how athletic you are. Pinocchio. Come on. Yes. He did it on his own. Hey. He's fat but agile. Okay, so it's funny that you mentioned this. You got to sell us 3i Atlas Doomsday to get the subs up. So here's what I did. I interviewed Angry Astronaut, who has been covering this extensively. I have not been. I feel like I've been living under a rock about the rock or comet that is 3i Atlas, the interstellar comet. And anyway, he's been making a bunch of videos about it. His channel has really seen some rapid success, but he's sort of more on the side of like, this was sent here by design. #alien, #UFO. And then I'm going to interview a very famous space tuber or TikToker, Instagram person tomorrow who says, no, this is natural. And SETI debunked this. So y'all need to stop, being so conspiracy about this. So I'm going to interview both of them because I think they both have very different viewpoints, and then I will release that video soon. So I am going to stay in the middle as a neutral journalist and share with you both sides so we can get to the bottom of 3i Atlas, or at least, a little closer, because it's about time I make a video on it. God, you're shedding. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, okay. So here are some suggestions of people I should interview. Dr. Phil Metzger, I agree. Okay. Gwen Shotwell, I have tried that a few times. I don't think that she likes to do interviews, but I can try again. Kash Patel, that's an interesting one. I'm not sure if that one has to do with space. Another one for Gwen. It would be great if you could get a tour of Starbase as it has changed so much. Agreed. The question would be, could I film it? So, because I've done 2 tours and I was not allowed to film it. And then obviously without Elon there, I don't think that it would be possible. So that would essentially mean I have to get another Elon interview, which is not impossible. It's not impossible. Jared Isaacman, I have reached out to him a few times. I think he's back on sort of the laying low because of what's happening, how he may or may not be selected after all to do the NASA, be the head of NASA. So I let him know, hey, if this happens, please don't forget about me. And so he's got it noted. So we'll just have to wait. Rocket Labs Peter Beck interview. I have tried to reach out to them. I don't have his like direct contact, but yeah, it's a good idea. I like it. I like it. Weird request, Avi Loeb, Andrew McCarthy, astrophotographer. Andrew would be way easier to interview, probably. I actually, if you haven't seen it, I went to Avi Loeb's house and interviewed him back in 2021. So I did interview him before at his house, but I can try to see if I can get another one. But he's been like making the rounds on news stations and on Joe Rogan most recently. So, I mean, there's a lot of his, I guess I'm trying to say, I don't know if what his answers to me would be much different from what he's already been given. You know, he's been in the news a lot lately, so he might be a good one to wait for a little bit. Interview Robert Zubrin, the Case for Mars guy. I did interview him last year, but it might be a good idea to reach out to him again, especially because so much has changed in the space world. Hello. Hello. God, look at this cat. Oh my God. Okay, yeah. Robert Zubrin gave an awesome talk recently. Yeah, it was at the New Worlds conference, I think, and I was not in town, but yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I like it. I like it. I like it. Are American cats so much bigger? Like most Americans, maybe. That's a good question. I mean, I feel like I know a lot of people with fat cats, but my cat's, especially this one, he's not necessarily like healthy weight, and that's probably my fault. But like he's honestly like he's pretty agile. You'd be surprised. So I think he's doing better than he looks. Hey, great coverage, always proper journalism. Thank you. I sure do try. And it's very fun to be a journalist that can also give their own opinion sometimes and not get fired for it. You know, I'm not like overly the top on my opinion, but it's very nice to not have to suppress those things and work for someone else. I agree. If I could interview Elon Musk again, of course, it would be great. And I will try to do that. It's all about timing. Timing and circumstance. Avi Loeb was on Rogan, but I hear he can't be trusted. So Avi Loeb, a lot of people in his community do not like him and think that he is sort of, you know, disgracing the profession and the astronomy community. So that is true. However, if he's right and he's the only one speaking out because everyone else is so worried about their reputation, we're going to look back and say, what a shame that was. So, I mean, I think he has interesting stuff to say, but I think you should hear multiple viewpoints. So yeah, but he's definitely has a controversial reputation. But he was also at Harvard for a very long time. So Pinocchio is very big and cute. You hear that? They think you're big and cute. Oh my God, he's shedding. You see that hair. Like, this is ridiculous. I like them big. I like them chunky. I like them big. I like them chunky. See, you would never expect that today at 4:22 on October 29th, you would see this amazing live stream of me juggling around this fat cat. Only live on Ellie in Space would you see me just bouncing, sloshing this big belly. Okay, you're too hairy and oh God. Speaking of which, I don't know if y'all saw that video that got like 30 million impressions today. I haven't watched the whole thing, but everyone's talking about it. It's not this guy, but I'm going to bring him as a prop. which, by the way, I gave a version of this to Elon Musk, which was pretty cool. I don't know what he did with it. He probably threw it away. Anyway, Neo. Have you seen the news of this humanoid robot that they are taking pre-orders on? I think it's a $200 deposit, and it allegedly can do all of your chores. And except for the one problem that its name is Neo. It's not Tesla bot, but anyway, except for right now, it's still being like remotely programmed by a human. And so I am skeptical that it's going to be ready by next year when they say, I think next year that they'll start sending them out. But I did see that. If this is something you're interested in me investigating, I have some roboticist friends and people in the industry, but it's just everyone's been making jokes and talking about Neo. So Neo. Let's see. Sarah Gillis. I have not interviewed her. That is a good idea. Lindsay Caldon. I actually have not heard that name. Can you tell me who that is? Anna Paulina Luna. Would love to know who that is as well. Buzz Aldrin. Apparently, unfortunately, he just lost his wife. So I don't think, first of all, he'd be very hard to get a hold of. And I think he charges like a bunch of money for interviews, which is, but unfortunately his wife just passed away, I think in her sleep last night. So that's very sad. And I'm sorry for him. Tim Dodd is presently in Austin getting things set up. Is he actually here right now? Yeah. You know, I will say I live in Austin and I would love to help with the Astro Awards. Maybe I should just reach out to him myself, but I'm here. So I don't know. I'm just saying. I'd love to see some sort of collab with NSF. So would I, but I don't know if they would want me to collab with them. Maybe that's just my own self-doubt. But I would love to be a guest. I think I messaged them even and asked actually pretty recently and got no response. I think that was during Flight 10. So I don't know. They may see me as competition or someone they don't want to work with. I did interview Tom Mueller and I went to interview him in person. So that video does exist on my channel. And that was in April of 24. Interview Sean Duffy. Bro, you think I can pull that off? I mean, I have not exactly been laying low or not saying anything critical right now. I do not think that he, or for that matter, Katy Perry, as you suggest, because I was also a wee bit critical of that flight, that they would want to do it. Yeah, Duffy for sure. I mean, I guess it's worth trying, but can I get a Stoke space interview? You know, I should try again. I tried in the very early days. I actually met Andy Lapsa at I think it was an AA event, and it was like too early for them to talk. And a bunch of time has passed, and I should probably reach out to them again because they're probably worth covering. And probably ready to talk at this point. Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, he's like in the Austin area. I have tried to figure out how to get a hold of him. I have not figured it out yet. So that would be a great idea. It would be a great idea. Butch Wilmore. I have interviewed his pastor. I drove to Houston to interview his pastor, but I asked the pastor when Butch came home if like he would do an interview with me, and I think the answer was essentially no. It was like, I'll pass it on, but it never evolved. So I don't know. I was a little bit critical of Starliner too. Not Butch and Sunny, but Starliner and Boeing. So I don't know if they want to talk to me. I think that I'm a little bit like, I just got a little bit of spice with my reporting on space. I'm not just like even keel CNN. Okay. Look, I'm self employed. I think people like hearing a little bit of opinion and they like people keeping it real. It's why, and maybe I can run this by you guys right now. I thought about doing a segment every week or whatever, let's say every week for now, called Based in Space. Because I've had a lot of people tell me I'm very based, which I think means that I'm just, I'm not super PC and I like to keep things real. And, so my idea was I have like a segment once a week called Based in Space, where I give my based in space take on something. Maybe it's unnecessary because I already make some videos that kind of have that, but let me know what you think. Have I tried Ethiopian food? That's actually funny you asked that. We did pretty recently here in Austin for the first time, and it was okay. It wasn't it didn't have a lot of flavor, which I was surprised by. And the thing that I wanted to try the most were those little towel things. I already forgot what they were called, but yes, we tried it. I was very excited to try it. I really loved the experience. Is it the type of food I like? Not so much. I'm sorry. I'm just honest. Have I ever talked to Fraser Kane Universe Today? I have not. Perhaps I should. I think he interviewed Scott Manley and Marcus House recently for like a recap about one of the flights. So I was like, oh, pulling an Ellie in space, because I feel like I'm one of the only space YouTubers that I see that's like constantly interviewing other bigger space YouTubers. I don't really see a lot of people do that, but maybe it's because I'm a reporter. Okay. Okay. Wow, I'm still really behind in the comments. I am sorry. Okay, Dr. Sean Proctor, that is a good idea for an interview. Go to the space conferences. You mean for interviews? Because like I've been to some space conferences and I don't know if like a conference setting is really the most interesting for interviews, to be quite honest with you. Let's see. Yes, you can pull off an interview with Sean Duffy. He's just a guy, not an isolated celebrity like the rest. Yes, but can I pull it off considering I've been just a little bit critical? I haven't been terrible, but I think some of the things he's said and posted on X have ruffled feathers and are not working in his favor. But we'll see. That's why I don't think he'll give me an interview. But I also haven't tried, so. Sucks about NSF. I feel like it'd be a brilliant collab. I mean, look, I only messaged them once saying, hey, I would love to be a guest if you ever want me to. And I didn't get a response. I could be totally in my head. Maybe they're busy and maybe they'd love to have me on. I have no idea. But, I mean, I tried. I guess I can try again. But it seems like they have like a lot of content to fill. So I don't know why they wouldn't want, oh, look at that cat hair, someone to help, such as me. Because I started listening to some of their live streams and I thought everyone there like had to have like a freaking, engineering degree or something. And I think a lot of it is just kind of talking like we're doing now. Like I think I'd do okay. So anyway, if someone wants to hook them up with me, I would love to be a guest, because I like to talk. Let's see, good based idea. Okay. Seems like maybe something I could try. How is my leg? Fully back to normal? It is, and I am very grateful for that. If you didn't know, I broke my femur in March of 2023. And yes, the leg is fully back to normal. Oh my God, stop shaking the desk, dude. And I'm very, very happy for that. Like, actually, couldn't have gone better. So very grateful and quite lucky. But I also try to work out a lot because, I think that that's important to keep your body healthy. Wow, it's already been an hour and a half. Well, it looks like I've pretty much caught up with the comments. So yeah, that's a little bit of a recap. I'm thankful to everyone who even cared to listen to this live stream. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the Atlas or 3i Atlas video that I will be putting out, my own spin on it. I know everyone's covering it and their mom right now, but I tried to, interview two different sides, and hopefully it's interesting to hear different different points of view. 3 research monkeys just escaped in Mississippi. I did see that. Yikes. Yeah, speaking of monkeys, not in Mississippi, but in Louisiana, there's actually a chimp sanctuary that I went to. I think it was earlier this year, and it was really incredible. And those were like research chimps that had been rescued. Actually, a lot of them had AIDS, so you had to couldn't really go close, and everyone who worked there had to wear like the protective gear. And but it was very cool to see how they're taken care of. And yeah, he made me think of them because of the monkeys, but hopefully those monkeys are caught. No more monkey business. No more monkey business. Oh yeah, speaking of interesting things that we saw on the trip, we also saw the Rosetta Stone at the British Museum. And I was like, this is like so significant and crazy that I am staring at this. I think it's not only crazy that it was recovered, but how it was kind of like lost and hidden for quite some time, and how significant it was to cracking the code of hieroglyphics. So that was very cool to see, I have to say. Okay, so Lindsay Calden is the NASA head of future space technologies. We'll see. We'll see if NASA wants to do an interview with me. We'll see. Sometimes I feel like I have it in my head that I'm sort of like the black sheep of like the space tubers. I'm actually curious. Maybe I don't want the truth, but like sometimes I feel like I'm just like on the outside. Like, I don't know. I'm not like a dude, which already makes me rare in this niche, but I also don't have a background in this. And I've learned a lot more. Granted, there's a lot more to learn. I know that. But then it's like, in some ways, I might be competition to some of these channels because it's not like my channel is nothing. So I think sometimes people don't want to work with me for that reason. Or maybe they just don't like me. Maybe they're like, well, she's not qualified to talk about this, so I don't want to support her. Or maybe it's like, I don't know, but sometimes I feel like I'm on the outside, because I'm on the outside and I'm looking in. I can see through you, see your true colors, because inside you're ugly like me. He doesn't like that. And I can see through you, see to the real you. Oh. Anyone like Stained? Anyone? All the times that I cried, all this wasted. Oh, I'm scaring him. And I feel all this pain, stuffed it down, back again. And I lie here in vain, all alone. Honestly, I went from being bored to I'm not very bored right now because I'm dancing with my cat. I'm dancing with my cat on the live stream, and I'm singing him Stained. Do you like Stained? You like Stained, little boy? I actually love singing karaoke. I love singing, but I love singing that song in karaoke, although I sing it more like a girl. More like a lady, a lady, a lady. Oh, God. You are too critical of yourself. Probably true. But that's how we set the bar high, right? I would like to hear you interview the women at SpaceX. That's rarely covered. So, I interviewed a former SpaceX employee, this woman named Laura Crabtree, that worked on the Falcon 9 during the very important early ish days. And that video only got like 20,000 views, but it is very rare to interview former SpaceX employees. There's a reason that you don't see really interviewed from SpaceX, because basically, like, Elon wants to do all the interviews and other people aren't allowed to speak out unless they have like prior permission, or, mostly you're going to see that through SpaceX's own in-house media. So it's nearly impossible. The best you can do is to interview someone who formerly worked there. And even then, they're quite nervous to do that. And they could still get in trouble. So it's a little bit difficult. I would love to do a lot of these interviews, but I'm telling you, there are some dead ends. Your singing made my dog Tony bark like mad. Oh no, I'm sorry to Tony. It's funny. I love to sing, and I'll sing when I'm in the bath, and my cat Oliver, the smaller one, will run up and jump on the side of the tub and like start meowing. And if I get close enough to him, he'll like bite me. And I don't know what, like, I'm not like a terrible singer. I don't know why he like bites me and he gets so like stimulated when I sing. Oh my God, I love this idea. Interview your husband. Okay, I love it. I could do that. Always love what you do, even being you on a live broadcast. Yeah, it's actually really fun to like, I don't know. I feel like I loosen up as like the first few minutes. I'm like, this is awkward. I'm very boring, or I feel like I'm boring. And then I'm like, I'm just going to start making jokes. Because after all, I've done stand-up comedy. Okay. And I love doing impressions. I love doing silly voices. I used to do a lot of voices. Actually, when I was younger, I really wanted to be a voice actor, a cartoon actor. That never panned out. But
la 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 Elmo song. La 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 Elmo song. La la la.
My cat.
La 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 la.
Not bad. Not bad. Be honest, that wasn't that bad. So anyway. Thank you. I just got a super chat. Woo, 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 woo. Thank you. I appreciate that. Actually, let's see how you react. Okay. Let's see if he likes this.
La 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 Elmo song. I love you. You love me.
Oh, wait, no, that's Barney. That's Barney. Oh, look at, he's so tortured. He is so tortured. Okay, boy. God, do you see this? This is, I can't even wear this out. Seriously? This is like embarrassing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, dude, that would be freaking sick. If I could like guest star on a SpaceX live stream, stand there next to Dan. Bro, that'd be sick. That'd be so freaking cool. I would love to do that. It's not impossible. It seems somewhat improbable, but I thought that an Elon interview was impossible, and I made that happen. So how was Flight 11 for you? Well, I understood the pain from the Europeans, because that was quite late at night. But it was great. I mean, it went really well. So I was very impressed, proud of SpaceX. And I missed doing the live stream, but it was also kind of cool just to like watch it for the first time ever. I've never just watched it. It's always been kind of a work event. So it was really cool. It was cool, but I do miss live streaming. So hopefully we'll be able to collaborate on flight 12. 12. 12. Yes. Ooh, we got someone from the TPS team. It was a big one for us on the TPS team. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it was pretty flawless. So it was very exciting. And I'm hoping that we get another flight soon because we all already have that itch, but I know it might take a little bit of time. A little bit of time. Oh, Kitty is telling me that he needs a brushing. Yeah, I need to find his brush. Yeah, he needs a brushing. That's for sure. That is for sure. Well, I think I'm going to probably hop off, but it was great to chat with you guys. And thanks for listening to my voices and my stories and my impressions and my rants and my jokes. Yeah. Talking to my cats, making them feel loved, making them feel like they matter because they do. Oh my gosh, you used to vacuum your cats? Ooh, someone wants to see more of the wedding pics. Should I do it? Should I show? I feel like weird showing the wedding stuff. Is it weird? I don't know. If you guys want to, I can. But yeah, no, it's I'm curious too, like when you guys watch a live stream, are you guys like multitasking? Like am I in one window kind of in the background? Or are you guys just like locked in? I'm just like front and center and you're not multitasking, which is rare today. I'm just curious. I feel like I'm always multitasking. So this is actually, I mean, I guess I am. I'm talking and I'm reading comments and I'm talking and I'm reading comments. So you're on my main TV. Woo! That was funny too. When I was in Scotland, we got a tour of like the underground vaults and the tour guide sounded and like even had the same like enthusiasm because I've hung out with Scott Manley a few times now and I was like, oh my God, dude, like you sound like Scott Manley. You know, it was just they were so similar and it was funny. Must be a Scottish thing. Must be a Scottish thing. Front and center, thanks. Some of both. You are center monitor. Oh my God, that's like so crazy. Why would anyone watch this center monitor? I'm very flattered. That's very cool. That's very cool. Yeah, I think I don't know. Like sometimes I wonder if rambling is boring, but I always try to keep the conversation going because I feel like, you know, you have to. So hopefully you guys don't mind all the different tangents that I'm going on. But wow, someone's getting ready for bed while watching and listening. It's so crazy to me that like anyone would actually watch me just sit here and talk. Like no plan, no script. That's very cool. And sometimes I wonder if it would be interesting to like, okay, here's an idea actually. Cause there's too many like people watching right now for me to see everyone's face if we were to do like a video call. But this might be kind of fun. Let's say that because there's a way to like invite guests to the stream. I feel like it'd be fun to like share that code and then like have people pop up and then they could like ask me a question. I've never done that before. And that's one of the things that I like about the X Spaces, even though I don't like Spaces that much. I like this way more. But like that you get to hear like people's voices. And so maybe that's something that I should try is to like have some of you guys pop on so that you can actually be on video and I can like take a question from you or something. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. I'm thinking aloud, but I think that might be kind of fun. So let me know if that's something that you're interested in, because I could do it. mm, actually, I'm really curious if that would work. Someone says, have your mods ready. Actually, okay, wait. Because like as soon as I end this live stream, this is just a unique link. All right, I'm gonna do it right now. Oh my god. Okay. I've never done this. This is so exciting and stupid. Actually, okay, no one do anything bad, okay? Because I'm not, at least I can like see a preview. But I did just put a link in there. So if someone wants to join, they could. And then if they look permissible, actually, this might be kind of scary. Please no one do anything bad. Hopefully you guys are all well-mannered. But it would be, I'm just curious if anyone's going to pop up. So if you press that link, you should be able to be a guest, and that might be kind of fun and kind of scary. Kind of scary. I have to leave at some point. I don't have to leave yet, but I am going to a movie tonight. And what happens if you click the link is that you will be joining this studio, and I'll see you pop up, and then I can put you on screen and you can ask me a question. Ollie, come on, let's wait for someone to join. Let's wait for someone to join. This is totally random experiment. Oh my God, someone had... Hello.
Hey, Ellie. Yeah, this is Ninja in the First Degree. How's it going?
Oh my goodness. I don't even know why I'm blushing. Wow, someone actually joined. How are you?
Pretty good.
Awesome. Where are you from?
Kansas City.
Kansas City. Nice. Nice. My sister's in Columbia, Missouri. So not too far.
Nice. Yeah, just a little bit south.
Yeah.
Here. Well, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just I was actually talking about Lindsay Caldon of NASA earlier. She's head of the Future Space Technologies division.
Yeah.
I'd really like to hear what she's working on these days.
Yeah. If she's down, I'm totally down. It's usually just a matter of like, are they able to speak on a YouTube channel?
Well, they were talking about the small nuclear reactor they were going to be doing, but I would love to hear what they got, because that was like a year ago, I think, and whatever's next, I gotta know.
Awesome. And does she have like an X account or somewhere that I could DM her?
I don't know.
You don't know? Probably.
Yeah.
Someone says you look just like their brother-in-law. OMG.
When I was a bit smaller in the face, people would say that I looked like the guy from, oh gosh, the Transformer movies.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf?
Yes. Nice.
That's awesome. I think I could see it a little bit. I did love Even Stevens. Okay, well, let's see. I want to make sure that we get, because we have a couple people. Is there any other question or just that suggestion?
Yeah, just Lindsay Caldon.
Okay.
Just the Future Space Technologies. I gotta know. So
awesome. I'll work on it. Great. Well, nice to meet you. And let's see. We have John.
Oh, hi.
Hello. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I actually saw you at the Astro Awards, not this past January, but the January before that.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I went.
A lot of very, very respectable YouTubers were there, including Scott Manley and Joe Scott, and I don't know how many.
Yeah, it was awesome to see them all in one place. It was kind of like, whoa.
and your technique is, Well, it's like a news reporter, and but being as how you're not going off of somebody else's script, you're you cover everything in a lot more depth. In fact, even some of the NSF people don't go to the depth you do. I mean,
Wow.
they clearly have they have some guys that are extreme nerds, but then they have some that are the talkers, and yeah, you almost have to have somebody that is like the on-screen person, and then somebody that is providing the technical details.
For sure.
So yeah, and
I-
you
I'm
could
definitely
do
not.
well.
I'm definitely not the technical detail one.
Yeah, but you do. I mean, you're not the typical newscaster that only goes that deep.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, when I first saw you, I kind of thought you were that way, but
Yes.
you have continued to evolve and to learn, and it's cool.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's been great. And I know I need to learn a lot more, but
No, we all do.
I have enough to get by and enough to interview Elon Musk and him not immediately cancel the interview. So I can't be that stupid.
That's pretty serious.
Yeah. Where do you live?
Detroit.
Oh, cool. I have
Well,
never been there.
the Troy, Michigan, actually, which is a northeast suburb of Detroit.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks for hopping on. And I think we have one more. So I want to make sure that we have time to get to that. But it was nice to meet you.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah. This is a cool experiment. And I think we have one more here, although I don't know if this person has gone away. But if you are there, you can say hi. Maybe I should do this more. I think that I should do this and advertise it before I do it, and it might be very fun. But yes, thank you to everyone who said that I make it understandable to the non-techie. Yeah, I definitely feel like I have, I feel like I don't give myself enough credit sometimes for how much I have learned. And so, yeah, but this has been so much fun. Thank you, everyone who has contributed and commented and super chatted. And I will definitely do this again. I feel like I should do more regular live streams. They're very fun. And if you guys like this idea of making it interactive, I can totally do that on the next one. And that way people have time to like get by their computer or whatever, or be set up. So if you guys want that, let me know. But I got to get ready for the movie. So thank you guys so much for joining in. And it's been great to hang out with you. And I'll see you very soon. I'm glad to be home. And yeah,